What is due diligence period in real estate? I mean, if you don't know, and if you get it wrong, it could end up costing you a fortune. But if you get it right, everything that real estate promises with regard to wealth and freedom are yours for the taking. You ready? Let's go. All right, so by the time we're done, you'll know what the due diligence period is, 6 things that you must pay attention to during this period, and at the end, I'll also give you a free checklist to make sure that you don't miss everything else that's involved, especially anything that may cost you money or an opportunity. All right, so signing a contract to purchase real estate, that's just the beginning. Buyers must then navigate the due diligence period, which allows them to inspect the property and review important information before closing on the sale. So the due diligence period can be complex and requires careful attention. So I'll outline what's involved in the process, and I'll give you my due diligence checklist to help you smoothly sail through the due diligence period. So first, you got to know your contract. Laws involving real estate due diligence vary from state to state. So if you're working with a real estate agent, they should be able to provide specific information about which legal issues pertain to you and your market, and what your options are if problems arise. And all this should be spelled out in your purchase contract, so ask questions if anything isn't clear. Real estate is a buyer beware transaction, so take full advantage of the due diligence period to get all of your questions answered and any concerns addressed to your satisfaction. Know what you signed, especially when it comes to the various circumstances that will allow you to walk away from a purchase if you need to, such as a home inspection that uncovers a significant problem that the seller is unwilling to address, or in the event your financing falls through. These are your contingencies, by the way, and you have others such as the appraisal contingency. If during your due diligence period something turns up that's a deal breaker for you, you must know your options. Further, how do your contingencies expire? I mean, do they have a deadline that automatically removes them, or do you have the ability to remove them in writing? That luxury. You want that luxury, by the way, because you don't want to be away on a short vacation or something to only be caught off guard when you return to discover that you're now locked into the agreement because your contingencies expired while you're unreachable. Second, you got to know what's disclosed, because under federal law, sellers in all states are required to disclose any information about lead-based paints in their home. In some states, additional disclosures about known issues, say, for example, the terms of condominium covenants or the presence of asbestos insulation. Those are all required to be provided to the new homeowner. Now, most sellers, they'll play fairly and they'll disclose what they know about a property, but some may downplay issues or flat out omit important details. So if your spidey senses are going off at any time, trust them. I mean, no need to jump to conclusions, but inspect what you expect. And that brings me to the third thing, perhaps the most important piece of due diligence. But real quickly, if you like making money in real estate, let me know by smashing the like button. And if you take your real estate investing seriously, subscribe to the channel, because I share money making and money saving stuff like this each and every week, and you don't want to miss it. Okay, the third, home inspections. Now typically, unless your purchase agreement says otherwise, you will have the right to inspect the property during the due diligence period. Professional home inspectors they assess the overall condition of the house and its most important components, including the roof, the plumbing, the electrical, appliances, and heating and air conditioning. Home inspections can help identify the presence of termites. They can help identify the presence of lead and radon gas, defective drywall, and other hazards. This inspection, though, keep in mind, it's a general inspection. If there's anything that your inspector deems serious, they will typically recommend you have an expert to further inspect. For example, if your inspector notices significant moisture, say under the sink, they may recommend that you have a mold remediation company take a closer look. Now, if your home inspection turns up anything, something that you don't like, or something that's expensive to fix and throws off your numbers, at this point, you can ask for repairs or repair credits. Now, in most cases, you're gonna have to come to some sort of an agreement with the seller on these repairs and these repair costs. Now, while the seller may not be obligated to pay for repairs, oftentimes they will, or at least pay a portion to keep the sale in place. They don't wanna lose the transaction. And sometimes, though, they will refuse to pay for anything. You see, a great deal of how your repair requests turn out will have everything to do with the seller's motivation to move and the market conditions. Always ask though, I mean, even if you're purchasing this property in as-is condition, the seller cannot cancel the contract just because you asked for repairs or a credit. However, you, as the buyer, per your purchase agreement, will have the right to cancel the contract if an agreement can't be reached. So I've got a free checklist for you that you'll really find helpful in your due diligence. But let me run through these last 3 important things real quick. Fourth, appraisals. Before closing, your mortgage company will conduct its own appraisal of the property to ensure that the market value of the house is in line with the purchase. If the amounts differ significantly, the seller may have to agree to lower the price, or the buyer may have to bring in additional money to close. Or you could have another appraisal done to prevent the bank from declining to finance the house. One thing to know about appraisals though, it's not an exact science. Meaning if I hired 10 different appraisers for their experienced and expert opinions on the value of a property, I'm going to get 10 different answers. And sometimes they can vary wildly, especially if a market is appreciating quickly. So don't freak out if the first one misses the mark. Right, number 5. Homeowners Association. Many condominiums, townhouses, and some single-family homes fall under the binding rules and covenants of a homeowners association, an HOA. And these covenants may require specific upkeep. They may limit what you can do with the home or property, or impose mandatory membership costs or maintenance fees. I mean, if you're purchasing a property with the intention of making it a short-term rental, for example, the HOA may prohibit that. And it's not uncommon for an HOA to prohibit rentals of any kind. HOAs have been known to present significant barriers for real estate investors, so know what you're allowed to do and not do. The HOA rules and covenants are provided for review by the seller during the due diligence process. And like the home inspection, you may be able to cancel the contract if you find something not to your liking in these documents. Now, number 6, title and survey. As a part of the closing process, a title company will conduct a title search on your property, identifying outstanding liens and other issues that could complicate the transfer. And in similar fashion, a survey will typically be conducted to ensure that property lines are clearly defined. Your lender may require any issues to be corrected before financing the purchase of your home. That's a lot, and there's more. I just want to cover some really important ones first, but for the complete checklist that I and my students use during the due diligence period, you can get it for free at epicduediligence.com. And I'll also put a link down below in the description for you too. Oh, and by the way, if you'd like to dive in and make some really quick money in real estate, like flipping a house in just one day while using my funds to do it, I'll show you how you can pull this off in your market right now at mattsfreetraining.com. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.